Hi, my name is Erica, and on my channel, I just like to talk about my life experiences and the things that I've gone through. Actually, that is a life experience. Anyway, I just like to talk about my experiences because I feel like if I speak about what has happened to me and the way I move through things, I feel like it can help at least one woman, and that's what I want to do. Like a little bit about me, I was a serial people pleaser. I honestly just wanted people to be happy around me, and I thought that if I made people happy, that would one improve my environment, but I felt as though other people's happiness was dependent on me whenever you would be around me. I would just do things to make people so happy or what I felt as though were making people happy, and that just wasn't the case. One of the issues that I used to have was friendships and money, right? So hear me out. I would want to, let's say if we go out to dinner, I would want to pay for your dinner, or if we go out and do some type of activity, I would want to pay for that. Not only because of like me just being nice to you, but I would want to please you. I want to make you happy, right? And so that type of behavior can get a little distorted solely because you can feel when someone's doing that. And it wasn't because I was being genuine. Like, yes, I was being genuine and I was being nice, but at the same time, it's just like, okay, bruh, like, relax. You're doing too much. And I didn't realize that just because I have the ability to pay for something for someone doesn't mean that one, that person owes me a friendship, but two, it doesn't mean that we're having a good time because you're paying for stuff. Like, that's just not the way things work. But I truly didn't know that. Creating genuine relationships didn't happen for me until I knew who I was and I knew what I wanted out of life. And it may sound so crazy. It may sound so crazy, but it's like I have women in my corner now that not only loves me but supports me, but I have only been able to get to this point because I love and support myself. And coming from a serial ex people pleaser, it's just like I would want friends, want friends, want friends, but at the same time they're doing me dirty and trashy because I wasn't aware of not only myself but the relationships that I was like creating with people. And I'm not talking about romantic relationships. I'm talking about all relationships in general. Like, when you know you can make good friends is when you know you can make good decisions about your partner, if that makes sense. And now here's the thing. I have had it in the past to where I have had I have had good friends, but they weren't good to me. And you have to understand, like, when people aren't good to you, that has nothing to do with you as a person. That has everything to do with them. But what does have, like, reflection on you is why did you allow that? Sometimes you can be blindsided, and yes, you can be blindsided. But other times it's like, but the red flags were there and you just didn't see them. Why didn't you see them? Because you didn't want to see them. So why didn't you want to see them? Because you wanted to please that person. But why did you want to please that person? I wanted to please that person because I wanted to make them happy. But making someone else happy isn't going to make you happy. Trust me. I've done it. I've dealt with it. Like, those are the situations and the times where you are going to be used, manipulated, betrayed, all of the things. Like, you can't enter a relationship to make someone else happy. You need to make yourself happy first. Then you go find somewhere else or someone else, excuse me, and you share in that happiness, or you share in that bad times. Like, everybody say, "Oh, well, you're trauma dumping, and all of the things," but it's like, no, I'm talking about my past, right? Yes, you can connect with someone with your trauma, but if you're not going to therapy, if you're not doing the work, healing, motivating each other, things like that, then yeah, you are sitting in your trauma. But if you are putting in the work, you're moving forward, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're experiencing life, you didn't trauma dump. You found a connection and you are working through it, you are healing through it, and you have the ability to not only welcome people in on your hard times, your dark times, but you also have the ability to welcome people in when you were having good times. Let me tell y'all something. The people that's in my corner now, they were picking me up off the floor. I if you know me, and this is a very transparent moment, but if you know me, you know, like, I'm really not a hard drinker. I don't do drugs, stuff like that. When I tell you there was a time where I was doing drugs and drinking hard, like hard alcohol, getting blackout drunk, back to back to back to back. I have never been that type of person. And I was keeping it from the people that was really and truly in my corner, because at that time I didn't know who was in my corner and who wasn't. So when I finally just kind of broke down and told someone something, they're like, I had no idea this was going on. I had no idea you were doing this. And on top of that, girl, are you being for real? Why? Girl, what? Like, I was hiding the fact that I was struggling from people that love me, people that actually was my friend. And it just goes to show, like, when you are used to performing for friendships, when you are used to basically paying for friendships, or just trying to please other people, make other people happy, when that shift happens for you in your relationships, it's going to feel so weird. It's going to feel so different, solely because I was so used to struggling alone. Like, I didn't realize that when I was in those relationships with people, and again, I'm talking about, what is that? Like, intimate relationships and not like regular friendships and partnerships or whatever. I didn't realize that they really weren't my friends. I didn't realize that I was being loyal to them and they weren't being loyal back to me, because I thought that if I made you happy whenever you're around me, I thought that if I paid for things, if I showed up for you, if I did all the things, that would make people happy. And truly, it just made people resent me even more, because I had the ability, the ease, I just had more ability to do things that they probably could have done for themselves, or they probably couldn't do for themselves, or they could have done it for themselves and only themselves, not for the both of us. Like, just maneuvering relationships as a people pleaser is something that I would never wish on anyone, because you're just being taken advantage of, point blank, period. And you do things out of the kindness of your heart, but they don't take it that way, because they don't see you're being genuine. But at the same time, it's just like, you don't know you are just a people pleaser. Like, you can't feel it, you don't know it, you just think you're being nice. But one thing I will say is that having boundaries will help you navigate being a people pleaser. I am no longer a people pleaser, period. But one thing I will say is that one thing that has changed for me is that I'm not nice. Like, I'm not a nice person, sweetheart. I am kind, but there's something about just like you want me to be nice and you sitting here being rude. No, no, you sitting here playing in my face and you want me to be nice to you. No, no. Um, I'm gonna tell you off, okay? I'm gonna tell you where you had me messed up at. Actually, I probably won't even do that. I probably just excuse myself and pray for you. But please understand that I'm not nice. I'm just kind. I'm truly a kind person, and I can't stand it when people just want to take my kindness for advantage. Like, no, Boogie, no, we're not going there. We're not doing that. You gonna sit there and you're gonna be on your own. You're gonna deal with this on your own. But I'm not about to deal with this. Oh no. But how I learned how to just take a step back from people pleasing and buying friendships, buying relationships, things like that, was that I just gave it all to God. And it may sound so silly, so crazy, but God was like, hey, they're taking advantage of you. And I was like, what? And then he would show me all the times that they were taking advantage. And I'm like, so you was right. My bad. That's my fault. I probably should have. That wasn't a good idea, was it? Like, nah, that's not a good idea. I was like, okay, cool. What's next? Well, this is also you. Even though they were taking advantage, you were doing this. And I'm like, oh, that's how they were able to take advantage, huh? Like, yep, you gave them the opportunity. Like, truly, when you realize that you are people pleasing, you do have to take accountability for your actions, because you can't. It's like, it's you are the problem. Like, you can't people please without, like, Even though when you are people pleasing, people are taking advantage, it's you that's allowing them to take advantage of you. So you also have to grill back and be like, but I'm also a part of the issue. I'm not the issue, but I'm part of it. Okay? So that's how you reach your solution. That's how you reach the end. Like, you have to be aware of your actions. You have to be aware of like what's going on around you. And truly, there have been situations to where I've been put in and I would just pay for something for, a friend or two. And they would be like, Erica, that actually makes me uncomfortable. Please don't do that. And I'll be like, but why? Why not? Like, why wouldn't I do that? Wouldn't you, cover the bill at a later time? And they're like, well, yeah, I can. I'm like, yeah, that's what I want you to do. Like, I can pay for this, you can pay for that. And like, that's even. Like, oh, okay. I didn't think about it that way. And now, like, that's how a lot of my friendships operate. Like, we'll go sit down and eat, and our tab is together. Yeah, our tab is together now, but it's like, we're going to go somewhere else to eat, and that tab is going to be together. I can pay for this one, you can pay for that one. This is even, this is fair, this is fine, this is cool. Like, there's no reason for us to continuously eat. Like, me and my friends are, if y'all watching this, we are big facts, okay? We eat too much, we go to coffee too much, we brunch, we do all the things a little bit too much. And we also travel together. So it's like, when you have those relationships and when you have those things that's just coming out and you want to be better, you want to do better, you want to see better, like, you have to expose yourself to those relationships, to those friendships, to those things, solely because that's how you learn and that's how you, like, evolve, and that's how you get better. If I wouldn't have, you know, listened to one of my friends whenever they said, hey, Erica, this actually makes me uncomfortable, that honestly, that whole thing could have went differently. But if I also had the ability, I'm sorry, if I also explained myself and I said, hey, this is what I'm expecting, even though this isn't what you're expecting, this is what I'm expecting, and we came to a conclusion, that's what friendships is about. Like, that's what you really want to, be around. Just maneuvering just maneuvering relationships is hard, but also money. Because, like, if you think about it, everybody is all up in arms right now with money and, oh, we're in the sections and this, that, and the other, and nobody's putting in. You can't be around stingy people. Hear me out. You can't ask this type of, relationship around with stingy people. You know that person was stingy when you invited them. And now you mad because they don't want to put in on the bottle? Baby, you knew they was broke. They don't even have to be broke. Like, they can actually have a lot of money and they're just stingy. You knew this person was stingy. So why are you mad? Oh, so you are a part of the problem. Okay, cool. But really, just like learning to maneuver friendships without money is difficult within itself. And then when you add the layer of going out with people, when you add the layer of going out on trips and stuff, that's a different layer. And I feel as though if you don't set your expectations early, it's going to get away from you. 110% is going to get away from you. So just don't let it get away. Like, just sit there and be like, hey, by the way, I'm actually uncomfortable with this. Or, hey, by the way, this is how I operate. Tit for tat. Like, it's all going to even out. Just be sure to tell someone before you go out what you are expecting. Don't go somewhere, run up a tab, and then be like, oh, by the way, my friend got it. Or aren't you gonna pay for that? Child. Don't do that to people. But what I will say is, once you learn who your friends are, it'll be easier for you to maneuver, friendships and money. Okay? It's not going to feel weird. It's not going to feel, like you're pulling teeth. It's going to feel very even, very fair, very, very simple. Okay? But you also have to be genuine friends with these people. Like, you just can't. I've never seen a situation that works out where someone isn't genuine friends with someone, like a money situation. I have yet to see that actually work out. Because, like, if you're not genuine friends and money comes up, oh, baby, your business gonna be all out on the internet. And I said what I said. You can clock it if you want to, but I'm telling you, from a girl that's about to end her 20s, I learned that years ago, and you need to take my advice. Have a good day.